this video, I'm going to show you how to identify a fake Shure SM7B microphone. I bought this one on Mercari and noticed a few things about it and started wondering if it might be fake, and sent it into Shure, and they sent me back this letter that says, "We greatly regret to inform you that the item that you have sent to us has been identified as counterfeit." These are popping up all over the place. I see them a lot. So really quick, this is my real one over here, and we'll be using that to compare to the one I bought. So the really quick way, really easy to identify how it's fake, is there's a couple typos on the box. First one's right here, delivers -warm. That shouldn't be like that. On the real box, there's no hyphen. And then if you turn it over here, you see the same thing. And then over here is the other typo, ultra sensitive 4, with no space between sensitive and 4. So that's the quick, easy way. If there's the box, if there's no box, I'll show you how to identify it by the microphone itself. So I'm gonna pull that out. This is probably the best of the counterfeit mics I've seen. It's really close. All the paperwork is actually really good. There's very few, if any, typos in the paperwork itself, which is funny because it's on the outside of the box. They got the packaging really accurate here. They got the extra foam windscreen in here. They've got the little Shure cord wrap. They've got the little stand adapter. They've even got these little sticky black Velcro things. I don't even know what those are for, but they're in the real one as well. And they've got that back faceplate cover. One of the ways you can tell this overspray pattern here, they don't do that on the original. The original one is nice and clean back there. So let's pull the mic out and I'll show you some of the differences there. So as you can see, it's got this little piece of foam in here. I'll take that out. As you can see, it's pretty good. It's really hard to tell the difference just by an initial looking at it. And if you didn't have a real one to compare it to, you'd be hard pressed to find any obvious differences. So the first thing I noticed is this. I don't know if they'd all be like this, but this one has glue showing right here on the edge of the foam windscreen, which shouldn't be like that. The other thing I noticed, if you see the difference between the real one and the fake one, you notice the Shure logo on the real one is not quite as puffy. The font is a little more puffy on the fake one. See that? The next thing that's really obvious is this wire is a little bit longer on the fake one than on the real one. It's hard to tell just by looking at it, but if you put I'm not sure what this part's called, the stand mount back all the way against the mic so it's touching, this will go around this nut right here, and there's extra space right there. On the real one, if you push that all the way back, it won't go around the nut. It's about halfway. So there's an easy way to identify. Let's see, another way is by taking the windscreen off. And if you notice, the fake one is a bit longer than the real one. All right, and then the next thing I noticed is if you look at the capsule inside there, you notice that the fake one sticks out a good bit further, and this black part underneath at the base of the capsule is showing a lot on the fake one, and on the real one, you can just barely see that. So it sticks out a lot further into that grill. On the fake one, there's this kind of rough seam right here where they rolled this sort of thing around in the metal. There's a rough seam right there that you could almost cut your finger on. And on the real one, it's completely smooth all around. There is a seam right there, but it's so smooth you can't even really feel it if you go that way. The same thing with the cap right here. The cap of this grill is really rough, and you could hurt your finger kind of just doing like that. But on the real one, it's really smooth all the way around right there. The next thing is these washers. If you look closely at the the washers in between the mic and the nut here. There's a couple of brass washers in there, but it's kind of hard to see, and they're not really shiny brass. They're kind of tucked in there, but if you look at the fake one, those brass washers are really obvious, and they're a lot shinier. You can see that in there. The back faceplates are pretty much identical. That's hard to tell. The finish on the fake one is a little more black. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure I'm looking at the right one. It's hard to tell. This is the real one here on the right. And the finish on the fake one is a little bit darker. I don't know if you can tell. This is the fake one on the right. It's a little bit darker. That's about it for what I discovered. You guys might see some other differences, but I hope some of this helps you avoid the mistake I made. I was able to file a claim with Mercari and get my money back. I also discovered if you buy an item with a credit card, especially a Visa, they have counterfeit protection. And if the site you bought the fake mic from won't refund you your money, you can file a claim with your credit card to get your money back, even if the site refuses to work with you. I actually had that happen with Mercari on another mic, and my credit card company ended up refunding me the money anyway. So just be aware as you're shopping online.